Hi there. I am often asked about lighting portraits specifically for brand photo shoots. And I recently had an in-studio session with a client where I'm typically going to her location, which is a medical spa. But this time she needed updated brand photos just for her for some upcoming projects. And I wanted to bring you along and talk you through how I approach this whole studio session. All right, here we go. This cart I often talk about makes life so much easier when you need to roll a lot of gear in and out. Okay, so here is the studio. In this back portion here, that's the area that my client liked the most. My client has arrived. We're discussing the shoot, what we want to accomplish. She goes back to where the changing rooms are, and I set up my lighting. I just use my one light because all the natural light coming in from the left-hand side windows is going to be a nice fill light, but I'm using my flashpoint system. It's wireless, which is great, and I can control the light from the top of my camera. So here I do a light test just to see what the natural light looks like. I'll do another test with the light on, and we're kind of looking through and seeing what goes with her kind of vibe and what doesn't. So we'll kind of eliminate some of the plants, and we're discussing the concept boards. We're looking over those to see which we want to accomplish first, and we cycle through the images. So I get her set up. I have my one light kind of at a 45. And you can hear we had music. They had music available, which is nice when you're doing a portrait like this because that can kind of bring down any anxiety. This specific client, doesn't particularly like having photos. So we're just working through the different poses. She's great because she will move through the different poses herself. She doesn't require too much direction, but if she needed to, we can. This plant was sort of getting in the way, so I decided to remove it completely from that setup. Okay, so we're working through to see how we're liking the photo, so I want her to see what we're getting to see if she's liking it as well and if we need to pivot. And in this case, we took another round of photos because now I've removed that plant and we're grabbing another round. And after a few shots, I'll stop and we'll look at the images on an iPad, nice and big, to see if we need to remove anything, pivot if things aren't working. I'm adjusting the light with the transponder on top of my camera, and I was shooting with my 70 to 200. And I'm shooting also mostly vertical because I know she's going to use these a lot for social media, but I do pepper in some horizontal just in case she needs it for her website or different marketing materials. My light, as you notice, is on casters. I found this great accessory not too long ago, game changer, and saves your shoulder from picking up lights and moving them around. So that rolling accessory has been great for my C-stand.
You're killing this.
You want to keep encouraging your client, making them feel good.
Do another forward, like you're leaning forward.
And another setup note too, notice I do not have any of the lights on. That is going to cast another color light that you don't want to, you want to keep it kind of like that nice gray balance, let's say. So we're looking through the images here, seeing if we're liking them. She looked through and was like, I think I need to stand with this outfit. She wasn't liking having so much leg, let's say, in the photos. So we decided to use this yellow chair and do another round for a standing pose, which these came out so great. So I'm just looking at my setup, wheeling the light where I need it, moving my cart around just so I have enough And I will shoot full body, 3/4, and then also go for like a tighter shot. Again, with my 7200, it really worked well with the amount of space that we had. I'm always assessing what's going around, so you can see I had to move that to kind of get that full body shot. And again, I'll take a few, and then we'll look.
Let's look at them.
Then we'll look on the iPad. And she was really loving these. Okay, so then we liked those. We moved on to another setup. We wanted a general like working shot with her laptop. She's not in the shot, her face, but her body is. So then she can use this for networking events, or she's promoting an event, or talking about hours at her medical spa. These images always work nicely. So we just worked out, this was a very fast setup, and we moved right along to the next thing after. Now we went back to the couch for a seated portrait. So we've done a standing, which we loved. We did that little like miscellaneous image. And because we did an outfit change, we wanted to go back to the seated shot here, which worked out so much better.
You know me, I like a good secret. Ooh, that's looking good.
So she's just working through poses, and I gave her instructions before because we worked together, so I knew she would do this, to really do like a 1-2 count. In the past, she may have moved too fast between the poses because she's really nervous. So I wanted her to give like a 1-2 count in her head, so then that gives me time to compose my shot, get it before she shifts. What really worked here is you're gonna see from this position, I then angle myself so she's at an angle on that couch, and those were the shots that we loved the most. So now, of course, we go back to the iPad. And we change it up. I wanted some contrast with her color blouse to the couch. I just wanted some contrast. So here we have the seated, which these are some of our favorites as well. Again, that same one light. I'm with my 7200 still. And I'm just adjusting. I want her to lean forward a little bit more, changing up the arms and the hands.
Yes.
And that light coming through those front windows gives a nice little fill.
Bring this elbow to the goal. There we go. Okay, let's check this.
And then we go back to the iPad and go through and see if we're liking those, if we need to tweak anything. And now this is more lifestyle. We wanted, since she has a podcast, she has a product line, working shots. So if she has a book coming out, we wanted to get those kind of lifestyle shots that she could speak to those promotional things in the future. So that's what we're doing here. Again, that single light. I changed to, trying to look now. I think I had my 35 prime for these shots. Yeah, it looks like I have my 35. I also had brought my 24-70, so I was just seeing to see which lens I would do. Again, looking at images. And by showing them the images as well, they're getting excited. They see what's coming when they get the gallery link. They can get excited about what they're getting. It makes the anxiety reduce during the session, and they know they're getting some great shots for their business. So I was gathering at the end here just a few product shots. She did some repackaging to the outside, and they were going to be promoting it into their newsletter that month. So we just wanted to capture a few. Before she went, she has new merch, a new sweatshirt. So I'm like, we have to get a picture of you with the sweatshirt, the new merch that came out. So I loved this back wall. So again, rolled that one light over. Looks like I'm shooting with my 35. I did a test shot without her there yet. And then I wanted her standing. She was leaning up against the wall, which was fine. But I just moved my light around. And again, I just did like a 3/4. Loved these shots. And these were the last shots of the day. So we just looked at these and then we wrapped up. All right, so that was an hour and a half of time. We gathered seated, standing, miscellaneous, lifestyle, a couple product shots, and then that merchandise, the sweatshirt sweatshirt shot at the end, all in an hour and a half. And that's the amount of time I rented the space for. We knew exactly that corner setup. We already did like research before on the studio. So we were prepared. We had the concept boards. I had her bring her podcast mic, and I had her bring products and her laptop. So we were ready to go. All right. I hope this was really helpful to kind of see something different like in a studio, but I'll also leave a link here to a video where I'm capturing just the lifestyle images. This is kind of like as it's happening for this floral designer. I came along with her floral install for a wedding, and we had to capture some team shots of them working, and this is a real life situation. So it's much faster, and I thought you would enjoy that too. So check it out. I'll see you there.